Hey guys, my name is damokeyes and welcome to my top 10 tips on how you can build a successful music teaching business. Okay, so you've learned in a structured way, you've finished your music course and you've decided now is a great time to supplement your income and do some teaching and pass on your experience to the world. And once you've decided where you're going to teach from, whether you've got a place to teach or whether you're going to travel to them, you need to know how you can actually get people to sign up for this and what it takes for you to build a successful money-making teaching business. So come with me on a journey and I'll tell you my top 10 tips. Tip 10, you need a website. Or can you do this via social media? No, you need a website because you need to build this up in Google. Because where do people search for things? They search for them in Google. I need a guitar teacher. Go to Google. I need a drum teacher. Go to Google. You don't think, I need something, I'll go to Facebook. So this has to be done on Google. So it really makes a big difference for your advertising and marketing if you can build a website for free on Wix and get all the information that you need so that when someone says, I need a guitar teacher, I need a bass teacher, I need a singing teacher, I'll go on Google and there's more chance that they're gonna find you. Tip 9, offer a free half-an-hour consultation, a free taster lesson, whatever you want to call it. The reason for this is because people are going to be nervous about having guitar lessons, bass lessons, drum lessons, and this is a chance that they can come down, they can meet you, you can have a chat with them, and you can say, this is what I do, I'm not a weirdo, I'm not a nutter, and they can get to know you a bit, and you can get to know them. And then, this is the big bit, you can say, this is where you're at with your playing, and this is where I want you to get to, and this is how we're going to do that. This is the progression of it. You can answer all of their questions and they don't feel like they're paying for it. So if they don't like it, this is a great try before you buy. So make sure you always offer a free 30-minute consultation. Tip 8, advertising. Now let's keep this very simple. The best way of advertising for you to be a music teacher is on Google. You've got your website and Google AdWords is the best way of doing it. It's going to take you time to build up their rankings on SEO, which is the natural side of what Google does, but you can jump the system and you can actually pay for adverts. It's very simple and there's loads of tutorials on the internet. So what you need to do is you need to make little adverts which go onto Google, so when someone puts in a phrase, guitar teacher in your area, drum teacher in your area, then your little advert will pop up. Now it will cost a little bit of money, but it doesn't cost a lot. It'll probably cost you 50, 60p a click depending on where you live in the world, and it's a great way of you getting direct marketing to the exact people who are looking for you. So you're not advertising to 1,000 people and saying, who needs drum lessons? When someone says, I need drum lessons, you are directly in front of them straight away. Google advertising is the best way at this moment in time for you to advertising your teaching business. Tip 7, social media. What can you do with social media? Now, social media for this isn't going to be direct advertising. However, it plays a big role in what you do. And the reason for that is social proofing. It's proof. It's proving to people that you know what you're doing, that you do teach, that you are there, and you get to show off testimonials, you get to show off yourself as a teacher, you get to show off what your students are doing. This is not a way you're going to advertise as such, but it's a great way that you can point people and say, look, this is what I do, this is what my students sound like, this is what you get out of my teaching. And it is a brilliant way of getting your name out there. And you will actually get people to come to you for lessons because they have seen you on Facebook. It's not the most direct advertising, but it's a great way of proving to people that you are the best option in your area for being a guitar teacher, a bass teacher, a drum teacher, a singing teacher, a saxophone player, whatever it is. Point 6, doing the right thing for your student is always the right thing for your reputation and your business. Now what I mean by that is when you first start teaching, there's always a tendency to want to try and get people to come as often as possible. Come for an hour, come every single week. The thing is, that's very expensive, and if it's not the right thing for the student, then they will drop off relatively quickly. It's better to be patient and actually get people to come sometimes for half an hour or sometimes every other week, and they're happier with the amount of money that they're spending and the amount of time and effort they're putting into it, and that way they can build up. So A, be patient, but always think of it, this is about the student. If the student wants to do grades, you do grades. If the student doesn't want to do grades, you don't do grades. If the student wants to work on their performance, then you're going to work on a technical aspect, but you're going to say, yes, we are going to work on your performance. Now, I'm not saying you let the student dictate what happens in the lesson, but I am saying that what's right for the student is always right right for your reputation. Point 5, direction. This is a business, and from here on in, you are a music teacher. You're a guitar teacher, a singing teacher, a drum teacher, whatever that is, because this is not about you. This is about your students and how you market them. So when you're pushing yourself out there, if you say, look at me, I'm an amazing guitarist, you should come and have lessons with me, then there's no value in that for the student. They're saying, great, fantastic, okay, I can understand you are a fantastic player, but what about me? I'm not a fantastic player and I want to be. What value are you bringing to me? So when you're marketing, you don't want to say, this is me, aren't I awesome? This is my band I'm in, go and check them out. Here's my session work. That is a different industry. What we're doing here is we're saying, you're the student, this is how I can help you because I'm a teacher. If you want to show something off, show off your teaching ability as opposed your shredding technical ability. And there can be a bit of that involved. You can say, you know, as a player, you can actually have a piece on there, but this is about marketing towards the students and how you can bring them value. This is a key thing because I see so many teachers saying, me, 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 me. And when I'm looking for a new piano teacher, I'm thinking, no, 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 fuck you. This is about me. I can't play the piano. I understand you can. How well are you going to teach me? So market to the other people and not yourself. Point 4, practice. Practice teaching. You've spent years practicing playing. You've spent years practicing rehearsing in a band. You've spent years practicing gigging. You've got good at these things. But does that mean you can teach? Not necessarily. You need to practice teaching. So you need to go and find yourself some guinea pigs. Whether it's a girlfriend or a boyfriend, a mum, a little brother or sister, friends, kids, whatever it is, you need to practice teaching because you need to get good at it, just like you've practiced everything else around your instrument. So don't just say, I'm going to start teaching because I'm a really good player. You need to practice getting good at teaching. So therefore, don't just jump straight into it. Go and actually find some people and say, I need to be good at this. I need your help. I want to teach you to play guitar. I want to teach you to play drums, and get people to commit to it and then offer them a bunch of free lessons so that you're getting better, not so much for them to get better. Point 3, find your price point. Now this is very, very important because you don't want to overcharge people, and this does depend on what area you live. It depends on how old you are. It depends what experience you've got. It depends what other teachers are in the area. So you need to do the research and you need to be realistic, but you don't want to overcharge. You don't want to say, well, Musicians Union says I should charge £30 an hour. That's all very well, but if you can't get it, then it's the wrong amount. So your price point is important. Now, just like you don't want to overcharge, you also don't want to undercharge. Because if someone sees you that you're fresh out of college, you've got a degree in guitar playing, and you're 21 years old, and you're charging £30 an hour, and you haven't got much on your website in the way of testimonials and your students, then people are going to be thinking, well, that's quite a lot of money. I'm not sure about that. But likewise, if you say, well, I want to get good at it, I'm just going to put myself out there and charge £5 an hour, then people are going to be thinking to themselves, probably shit. So you've got to find the right price point, and it's up to you to come up with that amount. I recommend usually starting at around £20 an hour because I think that is a really good way of getting in the teaching zone, finding people who are willing to pay that on a weekly or bi-weekly amount, and at the same point, it's not going to break the bank, but it is going to show them that you are serious about what you do. So I'd start at roughly around £20 an hour. But if you live in central London, you're probably going to think differently than if you're living in the north of England. And you need to check out, because if you're living in France, or if you're living in Russia, or if you're listening to this from America, then everywhere's going to have different price points. So do the research, but don't just jump in at that top level. Find the right price for your experience and your area. Point 2, take this seriously. Get a DBS check, full disclosure, to show to the world that you are not a criminal, that you don't do weird things, and you are a normal human being, because it's all about trust. And people are putting a lot of trust in you. If they're paying £20, £30 an hour and they're leaving their children with you, their most proud possession is their child, and they're saying, here, look after my kids, don't break that. Now, in which case, you need to take that seriously because other people are taking that seriously. So when it comes to things like DBS check, when it comes to things like what gear that you use, you need to take this seriously. This is not a way of you just messing around, making a little bit of extra money so you can fund your band. If you want to do this, do it properly. If you don't want to do it, don't do it at all. Just do something different. There's other ways that you can make money from being a musician. This doesn't have to be the way. And I am a big believer that it is a fantastic way of building a career and actually staying in the music industry, keeping on working as a musician and making money. But I am absolutely not up for when I see musicians who go, yeah, I'll do some teaching. That is unacceptable to me. So if you're going to do this, do it properly. Take it seriously, and take it as serious as the people who are going to be coming to you for lessons take it, because they will take giving you their child very seriously. And point one, write blogs. Ugh! And I know that's what you're going to be thinking. Oh God, I don't want to write blogs. I want to teach music. I want to make a living with my guitar in my hand. But there's a few reasons why this is very important. Let me tell you why. Number one, this really helps with your Google SEO. So it helps you push you up the rankings. But also, it really shows people that you actually can do what you say you can do. You can educate. You're a teacher now. You're an educator. So therefore, educate. And blogs is a great way to show off how you can do it. But there's another thing as well, and this is really important. It challenges you. It keeps you thinking about how you can actually teach someone in a different way. It keeps the teaching fresh. It comes up with new ideas that you can implement into your lessons with your students. And blogging is really a fantastic way of working towards building the business long term and being patient. So that's it. That's my top 10 tips on how you can build a successful music teaching business. Now I need you to do something for me, because I've spent a long time working on this, and I need you to subscribe to my YouTube, or hit me up down below. Just come and say hi, because those things, they really make a difference. And if you've got a few things that you've learned from building your teaching business, add them below, because there might be some really good tips that someone can learn from. So thank you very much. Hit the subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow.